First of all, hello, everybody. We used to do a lot of these webinars during COVID. You had a different MC with Kelly if you participated in any of those. And if you've not, and this is your first webinar, welcome to Augusta. We're super glad to have you with us. Couple of just groundkeeping or housekeeping things before we get started on our actual content. Since this is set up as a webinar and not a Zoom meeting, please, if you've got questions, just go ahead and put them into the Q&A and we'll try and get answers to you throughout the presentation. This is being recorded and we'll post it and we'll send out, an email with info on how to access this if you want. And let me introduce you to the three of us that will be kind of leading this conversation. I'm Erin Plum. I'm director of our Augusta Sublimation business, and Brad Sullivan is my co-host, so to speak, today. And he heads up all of our custom business. That includes wool and headwear, decoration. And then we've also got Stacy Clark. Give us a wave, Stacy, from our customer care team, and a great resource for answering all kinds of questions. So we're really excited to tell you about all kinds of updates going on in the custom sublimation business, and we'll do our best to respond to your questions. So feel free to post them in the Q&A. And then if we get to the end and we have a little bit of time and you want to raise your hand and we'll unmute, if that helps, if we can do that, we'll try and do that as well. Okay. So Brad, you want to take us away?
Sure. Thanks, Erin. Just to start off, if we look back at these last 2-3 years, it's been crazy, right? Everybody's trying to figure out how we get through this pandemic together. Outside of just all the social challenges that came with it, you have the business challenges, right? Every supply chain's disrupted. We're all trying to figure it out. It certainly, I think, made all of us a pretty resilient bunch. Well, I guess at Augusta, that wasn't enough for us. So we unfortunately had a significant fire, as many of you know at this point, this April in our sublimation and varsity jacket facility. It was tough. It was tough, but like anything, you try to take a bad experience and focus on the good and figure out how you do that, how you find energy to move everything forward better than before. And that's really why we're here today, to share that story. Certainly appreciate all your partnership and you taking the time to join today and work with us through this fire that has certainly been a challenge. But we think we're on the bright side of it now, and we've got things back better than ever with some really exciting updates to share. So keeping that in mind, as we came out of the fire, it was like, it was so crazy what happened. I mean, it was very impactful on us. Here we are in April, we have a shift change in our facility, and we have this massive fire that takes place. And we have a fire department that's about an hour and a half away. We had these incredible employees that are on this slide here that jumped in to fight the fire and to hold the fire off to the point that we're operational in that facility today. And we couldn't be there without these strong employees that jumped in to hold the fire off. And I share all that to say it's something we've really drawn energy from as a team and said, how can we build this back better than ever? How can we channel the same energy that these production team members had to jump in and care so much about what they're doing that they're going to preserve the building? And so we took that, and we had an opportunity we never had before. We had the ability to build a brand new freestyle performance center from the ground up. And what that means is we have the ability to lay it out, to pick the right technology, to optimize for speed and for accuracy. So we had a blank canvas, and we were able to take all our learnings over the years and say, how can we build the perfect factory of the future that's going to allow us to deliver faster and more accurate than ever before? So we're all incredibly proud of the facility and the work that the team's done. And we believe you're going to see that reflection in the upcoming deliveries and season that we're going to have, because it truly has taken us to a new level. And so with that, I'm going to share a little sneak peek of what that facility looks like so you can get a sense of the automation and the technology that is now there in this new facility. So hopefully that gave you a feel for what's in the facility, the technology and the equipment. We actually have more equipment and more modern equipment today than we did prior to the fire. And like I said, there's just a lot of process and workflows that we were able to take years of learning and apply to the layout of the new facility. So we're at work. We're quickly building capacity in that facility. We already are at a point where we have more capacity than we had prior to the fire. We hit that point here in Q3. We are adding, to give you a sense of it, we're adding about 15 to 20 people a week. So we've got a pretty robust training program. We have a group coming in every week, going through a very similar, rigorous process to make sure that they're fully ready to go in and produce in the facility as we grow our capacity. And by the end of the year, what that means is we're going to have about 750 people in the facility that we really started the year with essentially not zero. I mean, it's really ramped up fast. And like I mentioned, we've got great equipment. We're running very efficiently, and it's really just taken us to a different level. And in terms of just orders and free capacity that's in place in the facility, one of the things that we are incredibly appreciative of is the fire happened, and the next day we still had orders, and we still continued to get orders through the period where people knew we had a fire, and a lot of our partners stuck with us through that. And we've built a lot of capacity, like I mentioned. So the green bar just shows over the last few months how much available capacity that we have. The darker blue bar is the actual demand that was there, and then the green bar shows how much more capacity we have to take and fulfill your orders in a timely basis. And that's on top of continuing to build up, because we're anticipating a bigger and bigger spring than ever before, fully anticipating that the business will bounce back.
Okay, so in addition to, I mean, we're super excited about the Freestyle Performance Center that's located in Mexico on the Yucatan Peninsula. But, it wasn't good enough to only build a brand new factory. While we were doing that work, we also were spending a lot of time working on our builder and our processes, because we really want to make it easy to do business with Augusta. So what I'm going to show you right now is what we refer to as our automated art proof. And what that means is if you use a templated design and you put in, sorry, I'm catching up here, put in some art, some custom art, we're going to automatically create an art proof for you that'll come in the form of an email. There'll be a link, you can click on it and either approve or disapprove. So in that case, when you're using templated art on our builder, you're going to get an automated art proof instead of one that's created by an artist. The other thing that we've introduced is what we call express art. And what that means is if you send us your custom art logo, our art team is going to convert it into an asset that can be used on the builder. And if you and actually saved in your personal art library. And when you build garment designs using art from your art library, you don't need a proof. You can go straight into production. And that's a big deal because our lead time actually starts from the time that art is approved. So if you're using our express art, then your lead time starts from the minute you submit an order to us. Brad, you want to do the next slide?
Yeah. Cue the video again.
Absolutely, that'd be great.
This will talk a little bit about what Aaron just mentioned and the ability to bypass the art proof and go straight to production.
that was a pretty quick video, a great intro to automated art proofs and also to express art. If you want to spend a little more time kind of digging into the details, you can go to our Augusta website, and under the top navigation, there's a link from custom. You'll see a green banner, all kinds of information, FAQs, and details about how all of that works if you want more information.
And I think the other big thing, Aaron, I just would mention is you already mentioned, like, any piece of artwork that you give us on any new order will automatically be converted to freestyle art and go into your art library. If you have other pieces of artwork that you anticipate using this spring, we would love to get those freestyle ready for you so you don't have to wait for that proof. And the way to do that is to just go on our builder, take any style, add your 3 or 4 logos that you know you're going to use this spring. And on the roster page, when you check out, instead of selecting a size, just select mockup and check out. And what that will do is all those pieces of artwork will come to you for approval. You approve them, and our art team will put those same assets into your art library. So you can do that same work without an order and kind of prepare for your spring.
Yeah, thanks for adding that. Yeah. And then just to wrap up the whole conversation about the freestyle art, we'd love for you to give it a try. And it's easy to do. So go ahead and create an order, send it to us. And if you use the code FSART, you'll get a 20% off discount on your order that does not require a proof. So again, that would be from now through the middle of January. Go ahead and give us a try. I think I'm going to mention one other thing. I did see in the Q&A, there was a question about minimums. When you're using builder templates, there is no minimum. The only time there's a minimum in place is if you want to do something that is a full custom. So everything that we just talked about, you could go ahead and create your express art library and put that on a couple of pieces. I think there was a bowling league opportunity that was in the Q&A. You can go ahead and do that. And again, if you're using our builder templates, there is no minimum. So back to you, Brad.
All right. So one other area that we have that we encourage you to take a look at is we have the capability for our freestyle builder to be placed on your website as if it were your own. We call this our ASB plugins. We have a landing page where you can go, and it's going to tell you exactly what you need to be able to put our builder on your website and start to take orders that come in through your website and just send them directly to us for fulfillment. The web address is up there. It's on our website as well. If you just go to the custom area and it says plugin, you click on plugin, take you through all the instructions. Requires a little bit of IT work, which is a pretty small investment for the level of orders that you'll get in. We measure this, and the accounts that have done this with us definitely have a higher trajectory in terms of their year-over-year growth than the accounts that do not. So it's just another way that we want to partner with you and be your partner and give you a tool to go out and hopefully get leads to your website and take orders. So you can check that out for both Sublimation and Headwear. That system is available.
Okay. In addition to, again, the new manufacturing facility, some new pre-production art processes, and then this opportunity to basically take our online builder and drop it into your website. We also are taking advantage of the fact that we have state-of-the-art equipment and extra capacity, and we're expanding what we refer to as our turbo assortment. So we have almost 50 styles, 48 to be exact, that include sleeveless, short sleeve, long sleeve jerseys and tees, and a couple of basketball short styles that all can be delivered in 5 days. If you do have custom art, that would increase the lead time. But again, if you use our Express Art feature and you drop that art into your art library, you can get that product delivered in 5 days. And we really feel like that's super important because it really is going to help in 2 ways. if you are a decorator or a promotional products company and you need to turn some product for, an event that comes up really quickly, we got you covered. Additionally, if you are you're a team dealer and we're in season right now, for example, and you need some uniform pieces turned really quickly, we got you covered on that too. This is an example of our basketball assortment. We've got an assortment of Holloway jerseys and shorts across different inseams, in addition to shooter shirts. We've got cotton touch tee that could be used for travel or for fan wear. All of that, again, can be delivered, shipped out in 5 days. The other thing I'll mention is, in addition to expanding our turbo category, since we are in basketball season, our Holloway reversible basketball lead time has dropped from 15 days to 10 days. So, again, we're pushing hard to get product to you faster and as accurately as possible. And then in addition to basketball, Brad, you mind going to the next slide? Yeah. We also have a volleyball assortment that could be used for both ladies and girls and adult and youth. So again, whether you need something for an event like a tee, or training piece or corporate piece, or if you need something because you're a team dealer, we've got you covered with 5-day turbo options. And those are all, again, if you go to our website, there is a turbo category under the custom link in the navigation that will show you all of those styles. And then, lastly, it's a great time to prepare for if you are a team dealer, it's a great time to prepare for baseball and softball. Holidays are coming up. We come back from the holidays and it feels like, baseball season is right on us. So Augusta is a resource for, really your head to toe needs, whether it's apparel, whether it's headwear. We've got plenty of inventory in headwear. We just showed you, we've got plenty of capacity for your custom apparel. Again, it's a great time to start building out your art library. If you've got some customers whose logos you're going to need, you can start creating mock-ups and getting all of that art loaded in your art library and mock-ups signed off on. But we've got, plenty of capacity and we are ready to service you in any way we can. So, really appreciate you, listening in to all the things that we've got ready to go.
Great. That's probably a good time, Erin, for us to stop and field some questions. So
Sure.
I'm going to go to the chat here. Start with Gary. What percentage of our orders are templated art versus asking for existing designs to be duplicated? I can take that one. I'd say it breaks down about 80-20, where it's 80% being our templates, usually involving, the schools or custom logo that we would make freestyle art. And then about 20% are those that say, hey, I have this design or this idea. Can you recreate that? Okay. A few weeks back, our team made the request that Express Art be exactly the color they are submitted. Has this been done in lieu of having to change them from black every time? Yeah, great question, Eric. So we rolled out Express Art maybe 3-4 weeks back, and there was a bug that we found. It still worked, but there was a bug that it didn't retain the color until you got back into the builder and you had to select the colors again. We did fix that last weekend. So now as you submit new art, it will not be in white and black and where you have to pick the color as you design it. It will be the color that you submitted and designed. It will show up that way in your art library. And then if you want to change the color off of that, you'll certainly be able to do that. There was a question, minimum order size. I think we hit that. Currently I'm processing 6 to 8 orders ranging from 4 to 120 pieces. I don't see the end of that question.
I would just say, Brad, we happily process, smaller orders, larger orders, whatever you got. So what I'm seeing in that comment, we're good to go.
Yeah. Is there an option to get sizing samples? That's certainly an area we're doing some work on. We are preparing for the baseball season and beefing up our sizing samples. There are options for the other sports in many of the items. Just would say get with your local rep on that. We provide that team a whole guide as to what styles they can work with. We are working on making that whole process more intuitive, but there are solutions to get you sizing samples right now.
Brad, I'm just going to tag team with you on some of these questions. It is free to set up your artwork. So if you submit a mock-up or an order and you've got art and our art team is going to convert it to basically express art, that is free. Then there was another great comment Alan added. So when you're creating a mock-up, we will basically take any of your custom art that you include in that mock-up request. We basically tag it and get it ready and put it in your art library. And what you're going to notice, it was in the video that Brad showed you, but it went pretty fast. We put a little icon against each piece of art that's in your art library. And we do have a reference on what those little icons mean, but it tells you whether the art is express art and ready to go for bypassing an art proof. And in the case of express art, what you're looking for is the green logo. Green means go. And that'll tell you, yep, the art's all ready to go. Let's see.
We do have somebody that asked if we can walk them through the plugin. So Elroy, I took down your name. If you want to maybe type an email address, or actually we'll have it with the webinar notes. So we'll reach out to you and walk you through how the plugin solution works.
I'll hit it super fast though, Brad. There is a link. We'll walk you through it, but you basically create an empty page in your website, and then we have the code that you can copy and paste right into it. It's just as straightforward as that.
Okay, that sounds good. There's a couple questions on Canadian shipping. I think we have some Canadian teammates on the phone that will be able to answer some of those questions. And if not, we can certainly follow up with Chad, who leads our Canadian team, and he'll be sure to get answers on that.
Yeah.
And then there's
with turbo, I hope I said this, but the turbo is the amount of time. The 5 days is how long it takes us to make the product. The in-transit time for delivery is additional. That typically is 1 to 3 days in the US. I believe it's 3 to 5 for Canada. So that in-transit time is different, but we ship everything FedEx, IPD from the Yucatan.
Aaron, if you allow me to jump in here, I'll fill that in. It is free shipping over $300 for Canada, and typically it's 4 days delivery. So if you add on 4 days of working days delivery to the 5 day working days of production, you get your delivery time on the turbo.
Excellent.
Thank you, Eric. You mentioned Cotton Touch t-shirt. Can you provide some details? Are they a standard t-shirt as opposed to a jersey for a sport? And then what's the maximum order quantity? I love to see that.
Yeah, me too. Think about that as almost like a peached. It's still a polyester product, so it can be sublimated, but it has a really soft hand. That's why we call it Cotton Touch. And we have a variety of styles that range from like a short sleeve, long sleeve tee to some hoods. For all genders, and maximum, I don't think we have a constraint. Would love to know what the opportunity is.
Yeah. There's some questions which I would say get connected, Willie, with me or Aaron offline. There's a question about will we provide our templates for you to do the artwork so we could produce it. We've done a little in the past, sometimes successful, sometimes unsuccessful. So it's a good kind of conversation for us to have and see if we can figure out a path forward. So let's take that one offline and see if there's anything we can work out.
We do have templates available. Excuse me. We do have templates available if somebody wants to mock up their design on a template and send it to us to get a mock up, or for us to create the proof on, though. So that's not our production file template. It's just like a regular template to design, like in a PDF form.
Perfect. Thanks,
I
Stacy.
started giggling because Alan said he is happy to talk to our customer looking for maximum size on Cotton Touch.
All right. Well, these are all really good questions. Hopefully we got through most of them. We're gonna keep rolling here. I am gonna take through just a couple things on the Pacific Headwear side to close out. We acquired Pacific Headwear, I think it's 3-4 years ago now. And really excited about the brand. It's such a cool brand. It's a fantastic hat. And really helps us kind of complete the head to toe solution that Aaron was talking about. There's some exciting programs in the market right now as we gear up for baseball season. I'm sure you guys are all very much in tune with and have been in the throes of what's been going on in the headwear category the last 2 years. It's been very supply constrained. When that hit, one of the first things that we did was we went out and resourced our hats with 4, 5, 6 different vendors so that when things opened up and throughout COVID, we could have as much flexibility as possible to get hats in stock. It's certainly been a challenge for all the suppliers, but our strategy has allowed us to get into a good stock position. We've been very strong in our truckers for, I think, over 6 months now, which was a challenge for a long time. And here just more recently and in the coming months, you'll see our more performance on-field fitted caps will start to get into really good shape. So we're really excited about the headwear brand. And we're trying to put a lot of energy around this head to toe idea, put some exciting promotions out into the marketplace. So the first one I'm going to show you is just a program from now through the end of the year. There's some hats we have some good inventory on that are very trend right. And so we're gonna share all this information with you. So don't feel like you got to retain it. We're going to send these slides out. But essentially, these 3 hats here are close to 40% off their regular selling price. So the price that you see on these slides, if you order 500 of these, we'll sell you these for the price here, which is about 40% off. So you could get some very good end of the year deals if you hop on some of these hats. So that's one thing we wanted you to be aware of, that's out there as an opportunity. The other thing that we've done is just a pure decoration program, which we are also running from now through the end of the year. And we're trying to fill the factory to get ready for baseball season, because as you guys all are aware, you come out in January and then you start to increase as we head towards baseball season. So the more volume we can get in our factory right now, the more prepared we're going to be for baseball season, which is why you see this promotion from us. And so we're offering 30% off front embroidery. It could be flat or 3D, as well as leather or faux patches. So some really good deals from Pacific Headwear. You know, typically in this space, we don't get too excited about the promotions, but it's more about the service and the ongoing just commitment to the category, servicing it well. But there are some really nice deals here where if it's an opportunity that matches an opportunity that you have, might be great to jump on. So we ran through a lot of material. Our goal was 30 minutes because we know everybody's busy. We can stay on here and keep fielding questions. I guess I would just say truly appreciate your business and your partnership. It's been a challenging year, but with challenges come opportunity. We hope we've done you right and built this sublimation facility better than before, and are excited to partner with you on your business as we go forward. So I'm just extremely grateful. I say all that. I think we'll go back and do just a couple Q&As if there's any more coming in, and then Aaron, you can close us up when we get through these.
Yeah, sure. It looks like we did get a couple more, Brad, that came in.
Yep.
So, certainly want to respect folks' time. If you have the time and you want to stay and listen to Q&A, I'd love to have you stay. If that doesn't work for you, we totally understand. There were some questions, look like around our production plant. We are only planned to be down on the 23rd and the 30th. So we've got 2 days, and the way we reflect that is if you've got a lead time, we just add those plant closing days into the lead time. There's another question about our lead times outside of our turbo program. We are at 15 days for other non-turbo products. And then there's an extra 5 days if you need something that is completely custom outside of our builder. Let's see. We do have some examples of plugins. If you want to see what those look like, I would say, Stacy, does this work just actually, you could just send it into sales at Augusta Sportswear and just say you're looking for a sample, and we can certainly provide that. With our plugin solution, in addition to code, we also provide visuals, so like collateral, if you need imagery to help as well. Brad, you want to talk a little? There's a couple of Pacific questions in here.
Yeah, I saw a few of these. There was a question on quality when coming from a different country. Brad saying he noticed a couple differences. So I took a note. I'm going to have our headwear SBU leader, Brad, reach out to you. We've done quite a bit of it, in all sincerity, have not heard much noise at all. So if there's a particular hat or lot that you're seeing something that looks off on, we'd love to jump on that, because we've done a bunch of quality work on this. So I will have our headwear leader reach out to you. Another question from Gary. We're going to start custom hats again. We are in the process of doing that in our Mexico facility. It's looking like we will launch in January, but we're going to do it in a very kind of controlled and methodical way to make sure we get our legs underneath us. And we're not going to try to rush to market to just hit baseball. We want to make sure we've got a system and process that really works well, regardless of timing, although we'd love to have it for baseball. So Gary, I'm happy to connect with you on what that looks like. And if there's opportunity for you guys in that, you can just reach out to me or I'll send you a note. Okay, Kevin is asking about an order he placed for Pacific in the past, and can he get that discount? We can work that out, Kevin. I will take a note on that, and we will work through that as long as it hits the terms of that program, which I believe it does. Can you clarify how to place an order for a trucker cap special? It'll be in this deck when I send it out. I believe it's a promo code for the blank large orders, but I'll make sure that it's in the deck in terms of how to place that. We would love to get that order in. I've had a few customers deal direct with Chinese made garments to save a few dollars. They weren't color fast and ruined their laundry. They came back to you. Yeah, it's certainly, there is more factory direct stuff going on. I'm sure there's models that work, some that don't work. We're just kind of focused on, how do we build the most repeatable, reliable process here near shore with our Mexico facility? And we're going to stay focused on that. Okay, I think that's most of them. Aaron, do you have anything else?
I'm not seeing anything else. I think we've hit most of the topics. I just want to let everybody know again, we really appreciate your interest and your time in learning a little bit more about what's going on. I mean, I hope if nothing else, you can tell we are super jazzed about all that is going on to support custom sublimation and headwear business, and we are ready to service your business.
Great. So thank you guys for all you do. Hope everybody has a great week and holiday season. Take care.
Take care, everyone.